let's begin with an exercise. I have a few boxes next to me. I would like each of you to choose one of these boxes. Now, based on the box that you picked, there's a certain trait that it represents, and that trait will represent you. For example, if you picked the green box, I want you to respond to my speech with very optimistically. You're going to respond to my speech in a very positive manner. If you pick the pink box, you're going to be a little more pessimistic today. You're going to respond to my speech with more of a negative attitude. If you pick the yellow box, you're going to be more skeptical today. You're going to respond to my speech and think a few times before you really decide to agree to what I have to say. If you pick the purple box, you're going to be very gullible today. You're just going to blindly believe what I have to say and believe it to be true. Now, what I have just done is assigned each of you to a stereotype without even realizing it. Stereotypes are something that affect all of us. It's just a fact of life. It's something that we all have in common. Society has put all of us into our own boxes, some tiny, like mine, but all confining nonetheless. Claude M. Steele is a social psychologist who has spent his career studying stereotypes. In one of his experiments, he had a group of black students and a group of white students play golf. In the first round, he told the students, "I am going to measure raw athletic ability." The black students did fine in this round, but the white students' performance suffered. He did it again, but this time he told them, "I am going to measure sports strategic intelligence." The white students did fine in this round, but the black students' performance suffered. There are a few things that we can learn from this experiment. The first is that the awareness of that stereotype, for whites, it being that they're smarter, or for blacks, it being that they're stronger, the awareness of these respective stereotypes put a burden on these students and caused them to conform into their respective boxes. The second, the thinking can be changed. Society puts out a bunch of norms and environmental cues that cause us all to conform into our respective stereotypes. But if we offset that pressure with different environmental cues and different norms as a society, then we can alleviate that pressure and that burden that causes us all to conform to our various boxes. Now, I hope that you are still in those boxes you placed yourselves in earlier. Did you maybe feel a little restricted? Maybe a little claustrophobic? Almost like the walls were closing in on you? This is what happens when you're crammed into these metaphorical boxes. Now, you could have responded in another box. You could have responded just the way you wanted to. It would have been better. Another box may have been more appealing, but no single box could have given you that complete freedom. It is instead more important to understand that when we are put into these boxes, it's important to realize that we shouldn't put other people or ourselves into these boxes. It is instead more important to realize everyone's differences. Not to put them into these boxes, but to celebrate these differences. Maybe one day, there won't be any boxes. Thank you.